This whole Prince Andrew's interview was an absolute mess, and we're going to do a breakdown analysis of what exactly went down and run through some royal experts and what they are saying. Hey guys, it's Murad Murali. Hope you guys are doing well today. If you haven't already, click that button for daily and consistent content. Please click that button. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe. Head over to my Instagram, Murad_Murali, and follow me there as well. I'd really appreciate that. Now, Prince Andrew has been the name on everybody's tongues this last week. He did a BBC interview that was an absolute, 2 words, epic fail. It was probably the worst thing that he's done in the entirety of his career, his royal career, him as an individual. Is he going to walk down Beatrice now down the aisle, his daughter? I doubt so now, because obviously they don't want to be attached to all of this whole situation, this whole, nasty kind of situation that we are discussing and dealing with here, involving Prince Andrew and obviously his, friend Jeffrey Epstein, who passed away. That waste man. But we're going to focus on Prince Andrew. I feel like this interview was very interesting because it really highlighted this kind of, psychopathic, sociopathic, or narcissistic, whatever you want to call it, so many different types of personality disorders, kind of person that he is as an individual. At no point throughout this video did he have any empathy for any victims who were involved in this case. And now the police, they're coming for you. They're coming for you, Prince Andrew. Hopefully one day they will. I doubt they will, to be honest, but they're active in these streets for sure. And they're definitely going to come for you and, for your kind of monstrous ways of how you avoided such questions throughout this interview, how you had no recollection and how convenient that was. You had no empathy, as I was saying, for the victims that were involved in this case at all. And that is where you should have started. Any PR person would have said that. I feel like the PR that Prince Andrew should have had, whoever was training you, was ridiculously stupid. The fact that he expressed that he felt that it was too honorable to not leave his place, like how self-absorbed and self-centered can you be as an individual? And now it's at a point where even sponsorships such as KPMG, I believe they're called, are now also pulling out of Prince Andrew's events. You have all these sponsorships that are slowly pulling out because nobody wants to be attached to this complete mess. And now I bet he's at home, wherever the hell he is, completely regretting doing that entire interview because everything was a mess. The PR training, I don't know who PR trained you, but that person needs to be fired because clearly they just had this whole situation clearly not at hand. And we also have Prince Andrew, just in his entire body language with this interview, really comes across as somebody who was not prepped, somebody who did not understand this interview, somebody who did not know that this was something that he was going to regret. His answers were just clearly, no empathy at all, no form of emotion, expression. He was always making it by himself, always making it by his family. What he said is that he let his family down. This is what he let down, family. Not the victims, but the family was what he let down first. This is what we have here. It's clear psychopathic kind of tendencies showing such self-absorbed behavior, no empathy at all, emotionless, expressionless, and I find it to be quite shocking indeed. We also have a royal expert called, I believe her name is Miss Bond, and Jenny Bond is, her name. She goes and says, he defends himself saying he stayed with Epstein after Mr. Epstein had been convicted of, crimes because it was convenient. You can stay anywhere he wants. There are hotels, he has friends, he could even stay with the ambassador. But he was too honorable. It's ridiculous defense, isn't it? He doesn't say how stupid he was, he says he was too honorable. I find that very curious and rather galling kind of defense. Very, very true indeed. She also says that it's ridiculous and says that how convenient it was for him to stay. That word convenient I'm going to repeat because I find it to be very interesting how he had no recollection and how he's now going to be seen as a laughing stock because of this whole situation. Not just a laughing stock, but just sad. And even Piers Morgan urges Prince Andrew to cooperate fully with the FBI and then slammed him as well because he, and what he says is that it's complete toe-curling bull S from Prince Andrew and says it's an absolute shame. Jenny Bond said it was a glaring omission for the prince not to express remorse for the late finances victims. Speaking to Lorraine, the former BBC royal correspondent said, I don't think self-awareness is something Prince Andrew has ever suffered from greatly. Therefore, it was a glaring omission. Interesting. I mean, even she says now herself, any junior PR person would have said that the first thing you need to do in this interview is express remorse and horror at what these victims of Epstein have gone through. She added, he did no such thing. The only apology he made really was to the royal family, which I just said, I've let the side down. So once again, he was thinking about himself and his own damn family. Miss Bond also suggested that the Duke appeared very ill prepared for the interview and had failed in his perceived attempt to elicit sympathy from the public. Completely failed. She continued, he's come across as an extremely undignified and now he's on a laughingstock. It was a car crash interview and the headlines this morning are a testament to that. It reminded me of the Panorama interview Diana gave and I sat there in 1995 taking copious notes. I did the same on Saturday night, but the result for Diana was more sympathy in the morning. There is none to be found for Prince Andrew at all. It was very uncomfortable to watch. He was ill prepared for it. Interesting. I find this to be so shocking. I'm sorry, this entire interview was just an absolute shambolic mess. The most worst kind of interview that we've seen. This is complete royal drama, royal, mess, royal disgustingness going on that's been leaked everywhere. This is not what the royal family wants to be attached to, and yet he willingly went himself to do this interview thinking that, give him a Diana 2.0 or give him sympathy or, truthfulness. But what it really highlighted was his narcissism, self-centered kind of behavior, his lack of self-awareness of how bad he's coming across, the lack of sympathy, that lack of empathy that you would have for victims, and I think it's just truly absolutely disgusting. Let me know your thoughts are when it comes to the interview. What analysis points do you guys have? Please do comment down below. I'd be really interested in what your thoughts are when it comes to interview. Just his body language I feel like is very key. Do let me know what your thoughts are when it comes to this. Subscribe to my channel, click that button, subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram, Murad_Morali, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.